Welcome to Satan is My Superhero. In this episode, we try our damnedest to avoid the golden path. But no matter how much emo teenage pouting we do, it still all ends up in genocide and our kid turning into an immortal homicidal worm.
Spoilers!
In Frank Herbert's seminal epic Dune, we will once again look for Satan in science fiction through the lens of the Christ myth. The idea of a chosen one, a demigod, not exactly God, but more than human with supernatural powers coming to rescue us all from evil.
So, Mr. of Nazareth, what makes you think you have what it takes to join the Justice League?
Well, there's my superpowers.
Right. Turning water into wine?
I also walk on water.
Yes, well, I guess if we ever need to fight crime with your water-based powers, we'll let you know.
Did I tell you I'm also the omnipotent creator god of the entire universe?
Yes, you wrote it on your application several times.
I'm also my own father, which plays well in Alabama.
Satan.
So who was Frank Herbert?
Time for a brief background.
Frank Herbert was an American writer born in 1920.
That was a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, when this boy had time to play. Now this man's got bills to pay, on eBay, with B-Pay.
Before becoming the most celebrated science fiction author of his time, he worked as a journalist, Navy photographer, political speechwriter, international social and ecological consultant, and lecturer in general studies and interdisciplinary studies at the University of Washington.
Some of those jobs sound made up.
Herbert was also an environmentalist and a Republican.
Oh, now I know you're making stuff up.
The first book in the Dune series, published in 1965, entitled Dune, begins with the
Biblically named.
Paul Atreides, a teenager born into a far future aristocracy on the planet Caladan. Straight away in the novel, we learn even in 10,000 years' time, white privileged teenage boys are still whiny little bitches.
No one knows my pain!
Paul is having disturbing dreams, visions of the future.
David Lynch will totally screw the pooch on my movie.
It will be revealed to Paul and us that he is the prophesized Kwisatz Haderach.
I don't know what that is.
This Kwisatz Haderach will have the power of precognition.
Paul, how are you coping with those horrifying visions of the future?
I'm getting used to it. In fact, I would say I really like it. Zendaya's in them now.
Here is as good a place as any to head off the pedants. Many will call Dune fantasy, not science fiction. Just like I did with Star Wars, I will counter this with spaceships and shit. But whereas spaceships and shit was my only very weak defense for George Lucas making it into the sci-fi series, I will argue Frank Herbert gives us science fiction.
What about the Force being explained by midichlorians?
Did you just bring the Phantom Menace into a serious conversation about science fiction?
I'll show myself out.
Herbert gives us science behind these fantastical powers. The supernatural abilities Paul displays are not random or an act of divine intervention. They are the result of genetic manipulation and a multi-generational breeding program.
Are you claiming there is science in precognition?
Who knows what science will unlock in the future? As we all know, we only use 10% of our brain.
That is blatantly not true. The human brain runs at maximum potential as per evolutionary rules of energy requirements versus output. Yours is the only brain I know of, running at 10%.
Even the prophecy of the Kwisatz Haderach has been placed in the society and nurtured for thousands of years by the Bene Gesserit witches who are behind it all.
Let me guess. These witches are also scientific.
The main antagonist is Baron Vladimir Harkkonnen, an obese, hedonistic sadist.
Make Geidi Prime great again.
Geidi, Geidi, Geidi.
The Baron makes for an unsympathetic, ravenous devil. He is the personification of lust, greed, gluttony, sloth, pride, and wrath.
That's quite an impressive resume.
He is the 7 deadly sins incarnate.
It is purely a coincidence his name is Vladimir. I'm more like Paul. People are always saying, I have a real Timothée Chalamet vibe. Ask this guy, he knows.
What?
Tell them what people are always saying to me.
Please, President for Life Putin, stop. It's hurting.
Ha 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 ha. That is joke we share. No, the Timothée Chalamet thing. Tell them that.
You have a real Timothée Chalamet thing?
Vibe. It's a vibe. I have a real Timothée Chalamet vibe. People love me.
The Baron's not a tragically flawed idealist like Vader, or a devotee of the dark arts like Palpatine.
I took one look at Chris Angel's ponytail, and I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
Harkkonnen is a proper beast. He is a wild animal. This guy is so morbidly obese, he is kept alive and afloat by technology. He is covered in pus-dripping sores, his own vomit and other people's blood. He's also a pedophile rapist.
Man, not sure we've stopped talking about Putin yet.
His nephew and heir to the throne, Feyd-Rautha, is part of the same breeding program Paul comes from. But Rautha has not harnessed the same powers. He's a failed Kwisatz Haderach, and not a bad fit for Antichrist.
I told Hollywood Austin Butler can be my Antichrist any day. Somehow, though, I ended up with Sting. No, Sting, we're not taking a break from Armageddon to do yoga. Maybe we'll do the tantric sex thing. Maybe.
In the sequel novels, Paul leads a holy war of death and destruction across the universe, his hordes of Freman fanatics bending humanity to the will of his new religion.
I would never do that. I'm more like Timothée Chalamet in Don't Look Up. Just a real cool guy with a skateboard, and Katnis is my girlfriend. You know, just vibing, man.
Surfer dude Putin.
Frank Herbert himself once said,
All men must see the teaching of religion by rules and rote is largely a hoax.
Herbert expands on that point over and over again in his books. He loves to show the unwashed masses having their own idiotic superstitious tendencies used against them for the benefit of the elites.
I'm so glad nothing like that happens in our world.
Herbert's books are drenched in religion and politics and where they intersect. If Marjorie Taylor Greene could read, Frank Herbert would have taught her how to be the God Emperor of a theocratic state of America by now.
I must not think. Thought is the mind killer. Knowledge is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my intellect. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the thought has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
In the sequel, Paul becomes disillusioned with the holy galactic empire he has created and goes off the rails.
I thought being emperor of the entire universe would solve all my problems. But McDonald's still won't put the McRib back on the permanent menu.
His son attains godlike superpowers and goes off the rails too.
I really thought turning myself into an indestructible immortal one would be a big hit with the ladies. Boy, was I wrong. It seems no matter how indestructible or immortal I am, they just can't get over the worm part.
All through the 70s, attempts were made to adapt Dune into a film. Names like David Lean, Ridley Scott and Orson Welles were attached at various times.
I hereby open the International Directors Guild Annual General Meeting.
Here!
First order of business. Hands up everyone. Who's had a go at making Dune? Alright, Lynch, it's your turn.
David Lynch was the director to finally get Dune to the screen, and in a year that saw Cannonball Run 2, Exterminator 2, and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo released, Lynch still managed to win the Stinkers Bad Movie Award for Worst Film of 1984.
Hey, you!
Legendary Hollywood film critic Gene Siskel ended his review with the line,
In case I haven't made myself clear, I hated watching this film.
I got that exact same review when I released my sex tape.
It makes me vomit in my mouth just a little bit.
Swallowed it.
Just a little bit.
It wasn't just the fans and critics who hated the film. David Lynch also hated it and had his name removed from the credits. To this day, he will not speak about it in interviews.
David, I know you won't discuss Dune, but can you talk about Judas's sex tape?
Hey, you!
In 2000, the Sci-Fi Channel adapted the original Dune trilogy into 2 mini-series, which were actually pretty good.
It wasn't as hard as Lynch made it look. We just filmed what was in the book.
Then, of course, in 2021, Denis Villeneuve put Timothée Chalamet in a still suit, and the world finally learned how cool Dune is.
Settle down there, nerd. Let's not go overboard.
There have been many spin-off media and merch over the years. The computer game Dune 2000 was pretty good.
A buttworm ate my ornithopter.
Marvel published a comic book based on the novel. I only mention this because it was written by Ralph Macchio.
Wax on, wax off.
Sadly, not that Ralph Macchio.
There's more than one Ralph Macchio.
On a desert planet far in our future, a technological society fight with Iron Age weapons in a world where computers were outlawed thousands of years earlier. Sound familiar? That's the premise to the satanic science fiction audio novel Chaos Machine by your 9th favourite Satan is My Superhero cast member, Judas Fallen.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing. How could I, a random stranger just walking past your recording studio / bedroom wardrobe, listen to the satanic science fiction audio novel Chaos Machine by Judas Falling?
If you join our Patreon at any level, you will have access to the satanic science fiction audio novel Chaos Machine by Judas Falling.
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
Are we really going to say satanic science fiction audio novel every time?
What can we take away from Dune? All the way through the journeys of Paul and his human / worm god hybrid son Leto, Herbert quietly reminds you now and then that millions upon millions of people are dying for it.
If there was no religion, people would kill each other. For the wrong reasons.
Herbert's Christ figure does far more damage to the human race than his antagonists could have dreamed of. I think Frank Herbert's Christ is also his own Antichrist. Just like the Bible, the real bad guy is the protagonist. And that's why Satan is my superhero. Thank you so much for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, all that podcast stuff. But most of all, please give us money.
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
If you sign up to our Patreon at any Circle of Hell, you will gain access to the satanic sci-fi audio novel Chaos Machine. It's Dune meets Planet of the Apes meets Paradise Lost. Here's a little bit of it right now.
There is a stirring from inside the hut, and a proto shuffles slowly out the door. Provenance takes a step back and gasps at the sight of the creature. The 2 colonizers are not disturbed by its presence at all. The proto stops in the doorway and stares at Provenance for an uncomfortably long time. Tiny, bright yellow eyes embedded in a horribly mangled, scrunched-up face just staring at her.